Today's episode of Blow Jam is brought to you by FreshBooks.com. Get a 30-day free trial at gofreshbooks.com/blow. And Hotels.com. Shop with Hotels.com now to take advantage of $30 off select hotel stays of $250 or more when you go to usehotels.com/blow and enter code LISTEN30. Some terms apply. Hey buddies and fellow podophiles. I'm your host, Dealey Blowjam, and this is another installment of PODSMASH, number 8. I got my co-host here, Ryan Blowjam. What up, Ryan?
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going good.
It's good.
Before we get started, Ryan, I got 3 letters for you, and I want to get your reaction out of them. Ready? Here goes. D-M-V.
Oh, DMV. Jesus Christ.
Ryan had the worst DMV experience, and everybody has the worst DMV experiences, but I've never heard of this one this bad.
Yeah, I went to go get my license renewed. Come to find out that my license is suspended.
Surprise.
Because of a ticket. Well, it wasn't even a ticket. Like, they wrote, what's it fucking called? Like, equipment failure or something?
Yeah, like a form.
Yeah, you have to fix your taillight and then bring the thing back to the cop, and then you don't have to pay the ticket. So I did that, and I actually like fixed the taillight myself. I went on like YouTube and like looked at a tutorial on like how to do it. Fixed it, and then Delia brought it back to the cop, and he never put it in the system, and I got a court summons, and they sent it to the wrong address. So they suspended my license.
All you were trying to do was renew it.
Yeah, and all I was trying to do was renew it. So it was a big, quite a debacle. Kept going back and forth from court to the police station.
Back to court.
Back to court. Yeah, it was back to the DMV. It was the worst. And I still haven't got my license renewed.
So DMV, I know everybody loves the DMV, but this one was really bad, and I feel bad for you. And you're still kind of reeling from it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Well, you know what was pretty good? Podcast this week. So PodSmash, if you don't know by now, it's a podcast that reviews podcasts. #meta. Our first segment is we talk about what was good in our feeds this week. So Ryan, without further ado, you kick it off. Feed me. What was good?
All right, so first thing I got is Hardcore History Addendum. Dan Carlin, and the host of History on Fire, Denali Bilali, they did a crossover podcast. So it's Hardcore History on Fire. They talk about Nazis, political spectrums, U.S. presidents they want back, like from the past, like Teddy Roosevelt and stuff. Denali Bilali tried to convince Dan to reboot his political podcast called Common Sense. He stopped doing it because there was so many trolls and like arguments going on every time he posted a fucking episode. So he's trying to convince him not to be intimidated by that and just get back on it.
Likely, that's probably why it was on Hardcore History Addendum as opposed to Common Sense, because you can't really do Common Sense anymore because people these days don't have common sense.
They come after him.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we differ from opinions from a lot of people, but hey, let the people talk. Let Dan talk. So that's so cool. It's like the historical dream team.
Oh yeah, it was good. I always like a good crossover.
What did you listen to the History on Fire thing? Because it was crossover on both ends. The History on Fire one was just straight up called Dan Carlin.
Oh, it's the same one. It's
the exact same episode.
Yeah, I started listening to it, and it's the same.
Oh,
Just had a
okay.
different intro, you know. He just did it his style. It was on both their podcasts. All right, so what do you got?
All right. Sword and Scale, finally. I have not been very kind to Sword and Scale, but just because I hold them in such high regard. It was just, I haven't had a really good podcast episode that's been enthralling. Well, this one was amazing. Only deal is it's on Sword and Scale Plus. You have to be a patron on Patreon to get the Plus episodes. So normally when I review episodes, I kind of like make it vague, just give you some key points. I don't want to spoil anything. I'm going to try to be quick. I'm going to give you all the details from this. Maybe you will support Sword and Scale in a patron capacity, but there's something crazy about Patreon going on that I'll talk about in our news segment. For right now, let me break it down. Sword and Scale, episode 42. It's one of those crazy girlfriend things that are jealous. One of those toxic relationships where it's like they hate each other, but they won't stay away from each other. And she shot the dude. He was a gun enthusiast, which is why you don't keep guns in the house and you lock him up in a safe. She grabbed one of his guns, shot him in the head, claimed self-defense. Oh, if it's self-defense, why'd you shoot him 5 more times? She said he was throwing her around the house and trying to forcibly remove her. She was scared for her life, so she shot him in the head, then 2 times in the chest, then 1 time in the side, another time in the head, some other place too. So it was just like, duh, yeah, bitch. But it gets even worse. All right, so she gets convicted, 40 years in prison.
That's a bit much.
Yeah, so the guy that she killed, her boyfriend, was a lawyer. So when she was convicted, his family said justice has been done. His name was Ryan, by the way. And Ryan had utmost respect for the law, and the law did its job for Ryan. Well, a year or 2 later, her trial got dismissed because, come to find out, one of the jurors was a felon. And so Ryan's family was so upset. They were like, she was convicted. What's done is done. It's just terrible that we have to go through this all over again. Oh, well, your son was a defense lawyer. He would have pulled the same tactic. So just go through the process. And then she got married in jail to a transgender woman. And she's insane. She would text him 100 times in 5 minutes. And just like, she'd show up to his condo and without being announced, and then would refuse to leave.
In jail?
No, I mean like before she went to jail for murdering him. That's how like she behaved with him. Ryan, don't you have an experience about a crazy girlfriend who'd show up to your apartment unannounced and wouldn't leave?
No comment.
Ryan, did this ex-girlfriend find your aunt recently in a doctor's office and told her how you cheated on her?
No comment. We already did that in that episode.
So we already did that.
I'm not going back there.
It was reminiscent of that, but Ryan, you're still with me today?
She tried to Me Too me, but she doesn't know how it works. I don't work with her.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's just a really good episode. Maybe you would want to support them in the Plus capacity, but we're going to talk about Patreon, and you might not want to be a patron. For some people, I don't know. I'm going to let you know about it in our news segment. So, Mike, thank you. You put out a riveting Sword and Scale. You're up.
All right. Ron Burgundy podcast.
I've been wondering about that one.
Yeah, I didn't like it at first, but then I was like, I got to keep listening because everyone's first episode is a little shaky. And I'm glad I did. I listened to 3 episodes, and they were great. So it's Will Ferrell's new podcast. He reprises his role as Ron Burgundy from Anchorman. It's pretty funny. In the first episode, he tries out the true crime genre. He has a criminal psychologist as his guest. It's pretty funny. Spoiler alert, Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer. In the second episode, he does a guided meditation with the famous guru Deepak Chopra, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
Because he's taking them on a guided meditation. The whole time he's eating chicken salad, like chicken Caesar salad, like crunching like croutons and shit into the mic. It's wicked funny. And then his third episode, for some reason, is a Christmas episode. And he interviews a guy, because he told his producer to like, get him a Christmas expert, but she just like talked to some guy in line at Starbucks and convinced him to come on the podcast and talk about Christmas. And he kept calling him the expert, and he's like, I am not an expert in Christmas at all.
I work at Starbucks.
I work at Starbucks and I like Christmas. But it's really funny. It's a really funny podcast, and I'm glad I gave it a second chance. All right, you.
Well, just to piggyback on that, I didn't like the concept of it. Ron Burgundy, okay, that was a movie that came out, like 12 years ago. I know he's beloved, but not that beloved.
Yeah, it's mostly visual, too. But this is really funny. It's good.
I'm glad to hear it, and I'll check it out. And plus, also, like, big celebrities starting their own podcasts sort of makes us little fish. By the way, we've been doing Blow Jam for 3 years now, and we're still very obscure. Just the way we like it. But people like Will Ferrell getting podcasts and Conan O'Brien and, like, all these famous people, we're just going to be buried more into the dust.
Yeah, no, it's not cool. You got these corporations, too. We'll talk about that later.
Yes.
But
much to be discussed.
you got another one?
Yeah, actually, it's my first one. Oh, no, it's my second. I forgot already. But my second one is Comedy Bang Bang. And the reason why I picked Comedy Bang Bang is because its intention pulled through for me, that being the guests that they have on. Those guests come on to plug their shit, and I actually really like them. Never heard of them, so it's these two girls named Maya Erskine. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. Maybe, and Anna Konkle, and they have this new TV show called Pen 15. If you look at it,
oh yeah, I saw the preview for that. It looked weird because they're like our age, but they're pretending to be like 15.
or in middle school, so like 12, 13.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But all the kids are like 12.
Yeah, everybody is the right age except for them.
And it looks ridiculous.
And they were just like really funny. No clue who they were, and now I'm a fan, and I can't wait to check that show out. And also the characters, the comedic relief, basically the main character played by Dan Lippert. He was like a movie pass, like movie phone, like all of these defunct services. He was like bringing them back. He was like an agent for that. And his voice was really, he was just a really interesting character, and he had his story down. It was really good. Okay. Sorry, we need to work on our adjectives. It's really funny. It's really good. It was great.
Okay.
What was your next one?
Yeah, so Embedded, that was off for a while, and they came back with this episode. It's called After the Storm. It's all about Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico. How for months officials claim that fewer than 100 people died, but then all of a sudden the official estimate rose to over 3,000 deaths. They tell the story of one family to help it make sense. It's who's it? Kelly McEvers, right?
Yeah, she's been around the block.
She's the OG podcast.
Really good journalist.
Yeah, serial, right?
No, that's Sarah Koenig.
Oh,
she did like This American Life and All Things Considered, like big NPR.
Yeah, definitely NPR. But yeah, let's go. Like, people kept dying because the relief effort was like really weak. They did not help them. They were out of power, and like people were just dying.
I thought Trump saved them with all those paper towels.
Apparently, they didn't help. Like they didn't help bring the power back to people with like kidney dialysis.
Yeah, paper towels aren't.
That's not going to help you.
Yeah, it doesn't conduct electricity.
Yeah. Well.
Sorry. Keep going, because this isn't really something to joke about. This is no joke. It's terrible. It's a travesty.
Well, I'm glad they're talking about it, because everyone kind of glossed over it because all the, the news feed is just like crazy nowadays with Trump and all that. So it kind of got lost in the melee. Thousands
of people died, and it wasn't because of the hurricane. It was the relief.
Yeah, the
lack thereof. I can't wait to hear that, because it's like personalized, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah.
Yikes.
So.
Looking forward to that.
Oh, did you got another one?
I think I do. Didn't write it down, but This American Life deserves a big nod. It was an episode where it's like people, they say these things or they write stuff down. Like, there was this old guy, he was a physician, he had a bet with his buddy that he could write into the New England Scientific Journal saying that MSG is bad for you when it really isn't.
That was a good one.
And that just like turned everybody into thinking, oh, Chinese food is, the MSG, stay away from that. And like they made it up. But then like maybe they didn't and they stole somebody else's idea. It's really weird.
It's a weird story.
Yeah. I didn't write it down, so I can't remember the name of it. But it's, I don't know. By the time this comes out, it's the second most recent. So sorry, I did not do my homework. And I just want to say it's because for some odd reason this week, I could not finish a podcast. I just started it and fell asleep.
But what was that second half of like This American Life where it was like a billionaire in Canada and he died and he said within 10 years whoever has the most children will inherit like this $4 billion or something.
Oh, yeah, it like millions.
Oh, $4 million.
And it was back in the day, so it was a lot more.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me. That one was fucked up.
And it's crazy. People are just pumping out babies.
Trying to win the award.
For like 10 years. It's crazy.
And then like there was the matter of do we count stillbirths?
Yeah.
It was so fucked up.
It got weird.
And this was in Canada, surprisingly.
Yeah, seems like that'd be an American thing, but...
Thank you for adding that. That second story was even better than the first.
Yeah, it was weird.
Okay. I think that does it for the good stuff. You want to take a break, listen to a couple ads, and come back with some news? Does that sound good to you, Bugger?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay, cool. Time, why you run away? Remember Hootie and the Blowfish? Did you know that Blowjam is partially named after Hootie and the Blowfish? Well, it doesn't matter, because I'm here to talk about FreshBooks. For you guys, the listeners of Blowjam, FreshBooks is offering a 30-day free trial to give you the opportunity to try out their service. FreshBooks is the easy-to-use invoicing software designed to help freelancers and small business owners get organized, save time invoicing, and get paid faster. Also, their invoices look really slick. I've seen them before. I'm very impressed. So getting started on FreshBooks is extremely simple, even if you're not a numbers person. Actually, especially if you're not a numbers person. Let's talk expenses. Who loves dealing with expenses and receipts? #nobody. Except FreshBooks. Their mobile app lets you take a picture of your receipts and pretty much handles the rest. Invoicing is really only the beginning, because FreshBooks will also handle your time tracking. So when it comes time to create that invoice, you know exactly what you did, when you did it, and who you did it for. You'll be creating and sending invoices in minutes, watching your expenses basically organize themselves, and tracking your time almost instantly, and probably wondering why you didn't start sooner. So if you want to avoid the whole time is wasting, time is folding, time you ain't no friend of mine, try FreshBooks free for 30 days. Just go to gofreshbooks.com and enter Blow in the How Did You Hear About Us section. And oh my God, Hotels.com. They're offering $30 off select hotel stays of $250 or more when you go to usehotels.com/blow and enter code LISTEN30. With Hotels.com, you can get rewarded basically everywhere, except the moon, for now. And for every 10 nights you stay, you get one free that you can use at endless properties. Hotels.com deals come with access to instant savings, too. Hotels.com. You do you and get rewarded. Free nights don't include taxes and fees, but fuck yeah, instant savings available on select properties. Again, you can save $30 off select hotel stays of $250 or more when you go to usehotels.com/blow and enter code LISTEN30. And we're back. And I looked up that episode name of This American Life. It's episode number 668, called The Long Fuse. check that one out. What do you got in the news, Ryan? There's a lot going on.
Yeah. Podcast news.
News.
So here's some news. I still can't get back on iTunes. Podbean and iTunes agree that there was nothing wrong with my RSS feed, but I still keep getting this email saying I have a feed error, and I don't know why, and no one knows why. We can't get on iTunes. So
I swear to God, we got blacklisted because
if anybody can help me,
yeah, anybody, just
let me know.
anybody.
Yeah, try to hook it up. So I'm gonna go down to iTunes and start flipping desks. There's probably no desk. I don't know.
No, there are desks
I'm gonna
at iTunes.
Beat up Steve Jobs.
In his grave.
Oh, he's dead. Yeah, never mind. I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah, it's just like getting passed back and forth. We were on iTunes before.
Yeah, I don't know why we got kicked off. It's so weird. Dude.
Do you think it's because it's like called Apple Podcasts now?
Yeah, it might be something about that. Maybe I got to upgrade something.
I know. Well, we don't have any Apple products because it's like if you get one thing, you got to get another, and I just don't feel like it's fair.
Yeah, we're Android people, so.
Yeah, we are. Windows Stitcher. OS. Oh, yep, we do Stitcher. What are you doing over there, Buggy?
Nothing. All right, you got news?
I do got news. I alluded to earlier when I was talking about Sword and Scale that there's some shit going on with Patreon. There are 2 points of contention and issues that I have and that many others have. So, first things first, Patreon has banned several controversial figures who purport hate speech. And yeah, I don't like hateful people with shitty ideas spreading all that, but freedom of speech, man. They're allowed to get paid for what they say, and I don't agree with them, but you can't shut them down. If people do agree with them, they should pay them. Whatever. I just feel like nobody should be kicked off a platform like Twitter or Patreon or what have you, just because
I don't know,
the majority of people don't like what you have to say.
I don't think Alex Jones should have any platform myself.
He's got enough money.
Yeah, he's got enough. He doesn't need the Patreon.
We need to just, like, put him on his own island somewhere.
I want to get a Patreon. I guess we should.
No, we were going to, but here's the next point. Before that, like, I just want to say a fantasy, which is let's get Alex Jones, and then let's put him together with John McAfee, and put him on an island, and then they'll be lovers.
Or they could duel to the death.
Oh, duel to the death.
They'll wrestle with no shirts on.
Yeah, and, like, both kill each other at the same time. So the second point of Patreon, though, is that they've been declining payments from patrons to the creators. I'm thinking that might have something to do with the Sword and Scale Patreon thing, or maybe they think Sword and Scale is controversial for some odd reason. I don't know, but with these two things is making me second guess our Patreon page. Like, we built it up, but we haven't put our content on it, and I just feel like I'm not liking that. I mean, I don't like what those controversial people have to say, but I feel like they should say it and get paid for it, and so be it. If you don't like it, counter it. Okay? All right, buddies. So read up on it, look for yourself, see how you feel about Patreon.
All right, I got some more news.
Do it.
Harmontown was good, but Jeff Davis wasn't there.
I called it.
Like you predicted.
Yeah.
So maybe they really are fighting. Spencer hasn't been there in a while.
Why?
A couple episodes. So, I don't know. Maybe him and Jeff are going to start their own podcast. And Dan will probably replace him with Brandon Johnson and Rob Schraub. But who knows? It's wild speculation at this point. But
I have something to add to that.
Oh, don't do it. Come on. Stop. No.
That's my microphone.
Don't do it. Come on.
I'm going to put my... I've been suppressing a fart. I thought I could pull it out at the last minute, but I think I'm going to poo my pants, so I'm going to stop. But it's my microphone, right? And I could do what I want with it if I want to stick it up my butt.
Yeah, but I'm stuck here in a closet with you. I don't want to smell that. All right.
But you married me. You're stuck in life with me.
Do you have an A?
Do I have an A? Yes, I do. It's called basically all of the podcasts I listened to this week. If I couldn't finish anyone and I was getting bored with it, that must mean that it's not good. Like, the ones that I mentioned before, they're the ones that I actually could finish it all the way. And then my special shout out is the one that was the most enthralling. But otherwise, like, yeah, I couldn't finish one. So it's all A's.
Huh.
Do you have a specific one in mind?
Yeah, my A was it's a new podcast called Voyage to the Stars. I thought it might be pretty cool. It's just okay. It's not bad. It's not good. Hopefully it gets better. But I only listened to like one episode. It's a partially unscripted sci-fi podcast set in the year 2263. They're in space and they end up on the wrong side of a wormhole. And it stars Colton Dunn, Felicia Day, Janet Varney, and Steve Berg. And these are all really funny people. And you'd think it'd just be a better podcast, but it isn't. It's just
It's supposed to be improvised, right?
some of it, but some of it you could tell it's like a little scripted. It's probably loosely like outlined.
Well, I'm glad you listened to it because I heard of it. I was wondering about it, but I was never going to listen to it.
It could be one of those things. It could get better though. Who knows? Because it's always rocky in the beginning to get your format or whatever.
I think we mentioned before that our first episode of Blow Jam is stricken from the record. It was so bad.
It's so bad. It was like an hour and like 25 minutes of just babbling about Trump and
Yeah, like, I don't know.
we started a beef at Lil Wayne.
That's funny.
that was funny,
But we forgot about it
Yeah.
and mentioned Lil Wayne like one more time.
yeah, it's just silly.
But Lil Wayne, we're still coming for you.
I got no problem with Lil Wayne.
Yeah, me neither. I love you, Lil Wayne. I'm sorry.
It was mostly Dana.
He's a good skateboarder.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we going to nays now, right?
Yeah, nays.
Shitty ones?
Yep.
I don't have a shitty one because, Ryan, your shitty one is the shittiest shitty one in the world.
It's a
Tell us
nay.
all about it.
Okay, yeah, my name is called Toyota Untold. It's a straight up like corporate podcast. It's so bad. It's like one giant Toyota commercial. They talk about...
Wait, real quick. Ryan's got his
on.
notes taped up.
Don't say that.
And, like, no, I mean, we got notes, whatever.
You probably couldn't even hear it on the mic, dude.
No, that's not it. It's just, like, even your notes hate the podcast so much that they decided to go away.
Okay, whatever.
Sorry, it was
You just
symbolism.
completely derailed me.
Fudge, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'll have sex with you later. Okay, bye.
Okay, so it's like a corporate podcast. It's basically one giant Toyota commercial. They talk about how great a company they are, how much they care about people, but then they're like talking about how they're building robots that are probably going to destroy humanity and probably at least take all of our jobs.
But we care about humans.
So, yeah, thanks, Toyota. You really care about people. It's so bad. It tries to suck its own dick and high road you at the same time.
I like that pun, too.
I give it a nay. It's so dumb, dude. It's like... That one episode about like Toyota Tundra. Use this Toyota Tundra to save people in the California wildfires. It's like, shut up, dude. Like, you're just trying to promote a fucking Toyota Tundra.
Yeah, I'm sure lots of Toyotas were there and many other trucks as well of different makes and models.
Yeah, they're saying they're trying to transition into a mobility company for mobility for people. Basically, it means they're gonna make like robots and like.
But they already are a mobility company.
I know,
It's called Cars.
I know, it's just it doesn't make sense. Just don't listen to it. It's bad. It's not even like funny bad. It's not even funny bad. It's like just bad.
I think our listeners are smart enough to know straight off the bat that it's a commercial and not waste their time. But if you were curious, you could listen to it just to see how bad it is, I imagine.
I wouldn't. Don't even do that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's a stupid. Don't even waste your time.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
And you can take my word for it.
I will.
Hey.
Nah.
So, you got a shout out?
Special shout outs. I love this part. My special shout out is actually my news last week, I think. Or maybe it was my special shout out, but it's here again. It's called Cold. So, Cold I thought was over. Cold is a true crime thing about this guy whose wife went missing because he obviously killed her and buried her somewhere, and then the police were hot on his tail, so then he took his kids and did something with them, and you thought it was the end. But turns out his family is so fucked up. So it was like the aftermath, like with his dad and his sister and his brother, and it just got crazier. I thought the story stopped, and it didn't. Check out Cold. I love it. What's yours?
All right, my shout out this week is congratulations to Chris D'Elia. It was really funny. He totally went off on that Jussie Smollett guy who you must have heard about this guy. He like paid some people to beat him up.
Yeah, and put a noose around his neck.
Put a noose around his neck and said they were wearing MAGA hats. It was funny. But Bill Maher actually had a good joke. He was like, I know it's a stressful time for you, Jussie, right now, but don't beat yourself up over it. I thought that was really funny. But Chris D'Elia was saying like, he's like, why is your name Jussie? He's like, change it. He's like, I'm gonna change my name to Crust, Crust D'Elia. But he also went off on like Tekashi 6ix9ine for snitching. You gotta reduce sentence because he's like ratting somebody else out, and he's gonna end up going into the witness relocation program. But if you've ever seen Tekashi 6ix9ine, he's got like rainbow colored hair, like rainbow teeth. He's got like a 69 tattooed on his forehead.
All face tattoos.
All face tattoos. There's no way. Like he's gonna die in like 2 minutes.
Who's
He's gonna get out of jail
recognize
and
him?
he's gonna get shot immediately. So good luck, Tekashi 6ix9ine. You're a fucking dummy.
I have a tip for Tekashi. Burqa. Go to the Middle East, wear a burqa.
Pretend to be a woman, yeah. Pretend to be a woman and cover your face, man.
Yeah, nobody will come for you.
But they're still gonna see that 69 on his forehead, you know?
Yeah. At least it's not his ankles.
Yeah.
All right, good one. I heard that. That was a good one. I did not finish it though, but I heard it. So there you go. Now we're going to talk about the voicemail from last week. Hey, guess what? We didn't have one.
Did we?
I don't think we had one.
Didn't I play like Joe or like my grandma?
Oh, yeah. So it's not.
I don't know who I played.
It's on the Blowjam headquarters tip line, but it really has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, nobody's really calling it. So you can just give out the phone number and maybe someone will call.
Yeah, I mean, like, just call us, guys. Like, you don't have to talk about podcasts. Just, like, you could be anybody you want to be. You could say anything you want to say. You can just curse us out. We don't care. We just want to hear from you. So, Blowjam headquarters tip line is 607-296-7297. Follow us on Instagram, #Blowjam. Join our Facebook community. Is there anything else I'm missing?
Nope.
All right, cool. So let's listen to this voicemail from our drummer Joey, and we'll see y'all next week.
I don't know if it's gonna be Joe, do you?
Oh, it's gonna be Grandma?
Joe was like last week.
Oh, Joe was last week?
Yeah, dude.
Was Joe at Grandma's house and Grandma was calling?
I don't know. I don't know what the voicemail is gonna be.
Okay. Surprise. Goodbye.
You have one old message. Thursday, 7:57 p.m.
Hey, this is Frank Rizzo. I'm calling to suggest a podcast called This Past Weekend with Beetle Bob. He's a good kid. Listen to it.
End of messages.